Hi there, Barbara from Native Studio Art. I was doing a little bit of thinking this morning, and at first I was going to come on with just a marketing video, and I thought there is so much time that some of us have when we're doing the distancing, the social distancing. And it's a time too when all the schools and universities are closed. I was just like, really? And then I started to think about my kids, and that thinking led to a favorite art that I used to have when I was growing up. And it was interesting along the lines of art, because as I was growing up, we always had art classes. And if we didn't have art classes, then I always had something that I would cut up. Basically, if there was paper, scissors, glue, paint, string, and the list goes on to garbage ties, or pom-pom making, or tracing, or learning how to draw. Like, the one thing, my dad was really strict about where we went, so we spent a lot of time at home. And of course, he was a night watchman, and he slept at night. I mean, he worked at night, and during the day he slept, so we had to be quiet. So I was looking, and I'm a bit annoyed. This is day 1 of a 30-day challenge, and what I want to do is come on here live every day, today at 1 o'clock, but starting tomorrow, 12 o'clock lunchtime, Mountain Standard Time, with something to inspire you. And it's important to get the creative juices flowing and that energy, because all possibilities then connect, right? I'm looking at a stack of these. I have catalogs from Uline. Upstairs, there's probably a stack like that. And I want to repurpose them. And I also have wrapping paper from Christmas. There's rolls upon rolls. You know how that works. You put it away, but next year you don't really get it because it's way far back in the closet. Well, here's your time to repurpose them. And as you can see behind me, I've started an art form, and I want to share that with you today. Probably take us about 10 minutes. This will keep your kids or yourself really busy. This took me half an hour to draw out, and I have a template for that. I'll upload it today. And to fill it, as far as I got, you're going to need to do strips. So it's simple, and what is challenging about this design is, as I look at these pages, you want really colorful ones, and so that when you strip them, you can alternate. I'm going to show you. What I used was a ruler and an X-Acto knife. You may not want the kids to have an X-Acto knife. You can draw the lines, and they can take a pair of scissors and cut them out. And what I've done, because I'm in a bit of a, I like this idea because it keeps it all in place, and then I can alternate the colors. But if you wish to just do strips and put them in a pile, I should say. If you have a paper shredder, I have a paper shredder. And I have tons of shredded paper that I repurpose. And here's another tip for paper mache. So you get your design, and you know where I'm going with this. Maybe. And the next thing you're going to do once you transfer your design, mine's a bear. I can also suggest that when you type into search at Google, blank animal pages or blank animal images. This is where I got the bear. You can print it out and or enlarge it on your printer. Ta-da! Just get the kids to trace it, cut it out and trace it. And white glue, ta-da! Or Mod Podge. You can make your own Mod Podge. That's a whole different day. And then what I did is I put a lump in here. You have your paper shredded. You have your design done, and I used a Sharpie because Sharpie doesn't smudge. You take you put the glue on here, and you go like that, and you break it at the edge of the line. As you can note that it's going to, because it's rectangular, there's going to be some spaces in here that are open, and you can fill that with, kids could use another different colored Sharpie, doesn't have to be black, but to fill in the blank areas. Or they could get really crafty and rip off the top of this, piece as such. It's like mosaic or tile making, placing, and you can glue it up in the top where those spaces make a great big gap. I'm going to come on later and do the finished touch to this. I'll post it later on this evening when I have a bit of time. Up here, you see how the lines are diagonal this way? You might want to switch it up with a different type of newsprint, or the kids could use food coloring and a paintbrush. Just water it down a bit and they can paint in there. I always find that we have food coloring in the cupboard, and if not, watercolor paints. Some of our kids have acrylic paints, and you could paint in here. Marketing tip. You're running your own business, and as an artist or a creative person, we do a number, and I talked about trade shows or presentations with their staff of our company, and we want to get them involved. Why not do something like this? It doesn't necessarily have to be a bear. I'm sure you could come up with your own idea. You could print out, go to Google and do a search engine for face and do print blank face image, and you can fill those up with your staff when you're talking about leadership. And leadership is all about communication and connection. There's a marketing tip too. People love to be involved, especially when it comes to the art. The art is a doorway to our mindset. Our creativity has been sitting, not all of us, some of us are using a lot of creativity, but our creativity, once tapped, is a great business way to connect and pool together and find solutions. When we're using this all the time, what happens is we get stuck. And I love the arts for this because I could go so many directions with just this piece alone. It seems simple, it is simple, but try to add it to your leadership when it talks about connection with people. Maybe you want a topic such as respect. In this case, it would be courage. How many of us have been courageous when it comes to voicing our concerns? And that's an idea how you can integrate this into your business and or into your trade show. And last but not least, I called upon the artists, and when it comes to art installations, it took me a while to understand what an art installation really does, what it means, and why it applies to me. The interpretation of the symbols is a bit confusing. When I talked about courage is something that we earn. And as a leader, we're teaching others how to stand tall inside of themselves. And how would we do that? We would talk about issues. So in an art installation, the art installation is about the artist's creativity, their expression, what they're protecting. In my case, I love the land and the water. And so therefore, I can have a discussion, the art installation, whether I'm doing plaster or I'm painting and I'm doing a really big project. I've done them small. Isn't it better to get people involved? To add a piece to this, you could do a huge mural with your company and everybody gets together and puts an image or a tile in there or a strip. Maybe on the strip, I'm going to put courage. What if somebody's ideal or their motto for the week was respect, humility? And you could see maybe in this bear we could add all of the business people that we work with, their faces. Each person brings an image or, oh, there's glue on my finger, brings an image that they're concerned about. Cut a circle or a geometric shape, put it inside of a bigger shape. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a bear, it could be something. This is what I do for a living, is I love to I do the research and then I play with the design and I think of all the different ways that I could share this, and I sometimes pick one. Usually I pick more than one when I'm dealing with schools and universities and whatnot so that they can select. And that is another marketing tip. As an artist or an educator, a business person and who's teaching leadership, we have to have lots of tools, and we do. We just need the time to pool it together, to package it. Later on today, you're going to find this little PDF. I'm going to go away after this, make a tiny little PDF of the photographs I've taken shots, and put it up online and call it day 1 of the 30-day challenge. Have your kids do this, or someone you're working with. Maybe you're at home right now, and upload it. I'd love to see your work. That's the most inspiring thing. It's because this isn't about me. This is, I get so excited when I see others work, and what it does is that energy, that positive energy that we're creating is not only healing, but then it's like a conductor. Everybody is on fire. So join me, upload your pictures, don't be scared. Come on, you know, like you could trace these or whatever and fill them up with your gift wrapping paper, your magazines, cut them up, whatever, and it doesn't have to be strips. You can use squares, triangles, whatever, circles. Get together with your kids. And this is a really good time to get together, not only with your kids, but your family, and create something special together and get that vibe going. All right, we'll catch you later. Thank you for logging in and trying out day 1 with me. I'm looking forward to your images. Love you all. Mwah. Catch you later.